Need help with a consumer issue? Contact News 3 Now's Call for Action team by phone or on channel3000.com. Call for Action, only on News 3 Now. Free for the people, only on News 3 Now.
Right now, Senator Bernie Sanders makes a stop in Wisconsin on behalf of the Harris-Walz campaign. See what the senator had to say. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. Bernie Sanders just minutes ago wrapping up a campaign event in Baraboo. In the Baraboo, the independent Vermont senator speaking to a crowd about abortion rights, climate change, and attacking Donald Trump. Our Elie LaLiberte spoke with the senator one-on-one about how he feels he can help the Harris-Walz campaign.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Senator. How are you doing today?
Good.
Perfect. So first thing I want to kind of get started with is tell me a little bit about what you're trying to accomplish here in Baraboo today.
Well, it's no great secret that the election results here in Wisconsin are going to be very close. This is a pivotal state. I'm doing everything I can to see that Kamala Harris is our next president. Hope we can get a large voter turnout for her. That's why I'm here.
And so you mentioned, why you're here today. What poll do you think your voice specifically has in this purple state?
Well, I think that people who understand that what this campaign is about is whether or not a woman will be able to control her own body. That's why I'm here. People understand, unlike Donald Trump, that climate change is real and it's an existential threat to the future of this planet. That's why I'm here, to make that point. People who understand that in the economy today, we're seeing the wealthiest people becoming phenomenally richer, while 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck, and why we need a government that starts representing all of us and not just the big money interests. That's kind of why I'm here.
And so I've talked with some progressives who say that they are tired of voting for the lesser of two evils and say that, Harris might not be doing enough to win their vote. What would you say to those individuals who aren't so sure right now?
I don't think it's a question of the lesser of two evils. I think the choices are clear. Once again, if you think that it's okay to have somebody who is a pathological liar as president of the United States, I guess you could sit it out or vote for Trump. If you think it's okay to have somebody who's trying to undermine American democracy, who fomented an insurrection after he lost the last election, I guess you can vote for Trump or sit it out. If you think that women do not have a right to control their own bodies, sit it out. If you think the climate change, as Trump does, is a hoax, sit it out. Point is, the differences between these two campaigns and two candidates are very, very real. And it's absolutely imperative, to my mind, that Kamala Harris be elected president.
And so what would you say to those who say, Harris is running a little bit more of a centrist campaign and maybe aren't so happy with some of the takes that she's had? What would you say to those individuals?
I would say let's elect Kamala Harris in the day after. Let's build the kind of movement that we need to bring about the changes that the working class of this country deserve.
And so what does Harris need to do to win this state? What do you think that her campaign needs to focus on?
I think she has to focus on the needs of the working class of Wisconsin and America. Understand that we have massive levels of income and wealth inequality, that the people are sick and tired of seeing the richest people become richer, while 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. We've got to improve our health care system. We've got to improve our child care system. In my view, we've got to get money out of politics so that billionaires are not able to buy elections. We've got to build the affordable housing this country needs. We've got to make higher education affordable. Focus on the issues of the working class in Wisconsin, in Vermont, and in America. She wins.
And so what do you think Wisconsinites need to keep in mind as they head to the polls? You mentioned some of those key issues. Anything else that you would like to touch on?
Well, I think the choices are very clear. If you think it's okay to have a president of the United States who is a pathological liar, I guess you can vote for Trump. If you think it's okay to have somebody who is undermining American democracy and fomented an insurrection in order to try to remain in office, unprecedented in American history, you can vote for Trump. But if you think that women have a right to control their own bodies, if you think that climate change is real, if you think we need an economy that works for working people and not just billionaires, Trump is advocating another massive tax break for the people on top. So I think the issues are very, very clear in this campaign. And I would hope the Wisconsinites think hard about it and support Kamala.
Ellie, thank you. Tonight at 10, we will have a further breakdown of today's event. Now let's get a look at your first one forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze.
And we got a little bit of hail this afternoon out of Mount Horeb. Thank you for this photo. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you again, TechChin, for this. You can see that small hail there. You can send any photos by scanning that QR code or heading on over to our website in the weather tab. The shower and thunderstorm activity has really died down. A few lightning signatures still being picked up across parts of Jefferson, Rock, as well as Walworth counties. I would say the strongest part of this line of showers and thunderstorms is just between us in Janesville and us in Delavan. So we're going to continue to watch this, but we're not expecting any severe weather. But we did get plenty of much needed rain. Again, most of us have only picked up about a 1/100th of an inch of rain up to this point for the month. 30s and 40s tonight. We are drying out. We are tracking the return of rain as well as covering more news after the break.
Dear sharp curves, don't spin your wheels. Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. So you can bet your bottom dollar that we're sharper than ever. 'Cause we got traction, baby. Yours, Toyota sedans.
Right now, lease the all-new 2025 Camry for $309 a month, or lease a sporty new 2024 Corolla for $229 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
President Trump will cut taxes again. No taxes on tips, overtime, or Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Joan Baldwin wants to ban abortion, even in cases of rape, incest, and when the mother's life is at risk.
And would jail doctors who perform them.
Baldwin voted to ban birth control, too, and to deny rape victims emergency contraception.
Banning all abortions and birth control? No one wants to tell you what to do with your body
more than Joan Baldwin.
But she can't tell you what to do with your vote.
Now at 6.
Tattoo artists are showing off their craft in Madison this weekend. Our Tanisha Shaw is at the Alliant Energy Center with the impact this event will have on small business owners.
Madison is a town that it loves art, and it always has something cool going on.
Right now, that cool event is a tattoo festival.
People might think you've got to go to the biggest cities to find the best artists. That's not the case.
This festival brings tattoo artists from across the world to Madison, and it also helps local business owners grow their business.
I've seen plenty of people who've come to my booth and been like, oh, I didn't know you were in Madison. Madison's just it's spread out enough east and west to where it's really nice to just have more people see more people.
I spoke to the owners of Lost Lakes Tattoo and Forward Tattoo. Both said this festival not only helps build their clientele,
we always get a lot of followers from these events, and we get to book a lot more tattoos,
but also exposes them to other artists in the tattoo community.
And it gets us to meet the other artists that we wouldn't otherwise meet that are from around the area.
An industry that usually uses pen on more than just skin.
So we've been getting into trying to sell our own art in prints and trying to get other local art from artists that we've met through tattooing, offer to resell their art, and other little fun things so that people can kind of have a less boring lobby.
We also have vendors that are selling a bunch of different things, prints and fine art and t-shirts, all that kind of thing. So even if you're not gonna get a tattoo, there's definitely something for you.
The festival wraps up on Sunday and the doors open at 11 a.m. at the Alliant Energy Center. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Blaze Keller returns with a complete look at your first one forecast after this.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cool tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only in the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
WIN Senate is responsible for the content of this message.
Insurance costs going up? Erie Insurance has great coverages, rates, and claim service. And your rates won't increase because of celebrity advertising campaigns or sports stadium sponsorships. Call Affordable Insurance Solutions for your auto, home, or business quote and see what Erie Insurance could do for you.
Spas, spas, spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only in the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Let's your first one forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze.
A low pressure system is going to continue to quickly spin its way through the Midwest, clipping us, and that's why we call these clipper systems. And that means that we're going to see the return of showers and thunderstorms as we head into your morning hours on Sunday, and then on the backside of that, continuing to deal with those scattered showers and non-severe thunderstorms as we go into your Sunday, possibly continuing into Monday as well, as some of that wraparound moisture sticks around. I'm going to talk about that wraparound moisture here in just a moment again, but in addition to all of that, it's going to be breezy on Sunday as well. Gusts could be upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour as we head into your afternoon and evening hours. Frost possible waking up not only Tuesday, but Wednesday as well. And I mentioned that we could see some wraparound moisture Monday night into Tuesday. Coupled with those cooler temperatures, I wouldn't be surprised, though no accumulations are expected, if some of those raindrops turn over to snowflakes Monday into Tuesday, especially further north. 40s and 50s tomorrow. Here's a quick look at your 10-day forecast. After the rain wraps up on Monday, we're staying dry and warming up next week.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Billionaire banker Eric Hovde has a plan for Social Security.
Do you favor either raising the retirement age or cutting benefits?
I favor both.
Raising the retirement age?
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Hovde wants to raise the retirement age as high as 72. And Hovde just proposed cutting Social Security by 28%, costing the average beneficiary more than $6,000 a year. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I'm working harder than ever just to pay the bills and provide for my family. But here's what Kamala Harris thought my money should go to instead. Job training for illegal immigrants, even after they commit crimes in America. Hotel rooms for illegal immigrants while our vets sleep on the street. Sex changes for illegal immigrants out of my pocket. Seriously, have these people lost their mind? Kamala Harris can never, ever be our president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
After losing to Alabama and USC, Luke Fickell said he wanted the Badgers to define a top running back and feed that running back the ball. That strategy worked last week. Tawee Walker ran for 3 touchdowns, but this week they were an underdog on the road, and it still didn't matter because Tawee Walker told them it's my time. Badgers leading 7-0, and they'd add to it. Walker's 2-yard touchdown would make it 14-zip Wisconsin. But the Tawee train, it was just getting started. Just as this one was looking like it could get out of hand, Walker made sure that it did. Waltzes into the end zone untouched, this time a 9-yard touchdown to make it 28-0. But the best thing about Tawee is that his touchdowns, they tend to come in threes. Badgers leading 28-7, and Tawee He wanted it all. 55 yards to the house for his third touchdown of the day, to go along with 198 yards on the ground. And his Badgers, they win it big. 42-7 is your final score. It's a threshold that Wisconsin crossed today that Luke Fickell says would have been unfathomable a couple weeks ago.
Obviously, we can talk about Tyree Walker, who had a 201 or something like that, or 198 yards, and his impact is huge, but you know, it's because of those guys up front. And if I would say anything about today, we challenged our guys. The challenge was how are we going to handle this thing up front? And I think on both sides of the ball, we handled it and we took the challenge and executed pretty well today.
Now, if you want to talk about exceeding expectations, what UW-Platteville is doing right now, it's on a whole nother level. Last week, they beat number 3 Oshkosh on the road, their biggest win in a long time as a program, but it got no easier this week, playing yet another top 5 opponent in River Falls. Scoreless in the second quarter, and the Pioneers starting to put it together. Michael Preemy puts it back and drops it on John Gumi, who scores the touchdown. This would just start Platteville's trend. They win it 28-7, a massive upset, and Platteville just keeps rolling. On the flip side of the coin, it was an upset for Whitewater, and one that they don't really want to know about or think about. UW Stout takes them down 29-27, a tough one to swallow on the road. Wisconsin women's hockey is 4-0 to start the season, but faced their first real test of the year today. The third-ranked Duluth Bulldogs coming into town were always a difficult team to beat, and the Badgers were fired up for their chance to prove why they've got that number 1 in front of their name. Scoreless in the first, and the puck moving around like a flying saucer. It finds Layla Edwards, who finds the back of the net. Badgers take a 1-0 lead into the intermission, but wasted no time in the second. How about Kelly Gorbatanko? She's going to find the puck, slide it over to Lainey Potter. Potter into the back of the net, and the Badgers win a big one. 5-1 is your final score.
Talk about a statement game from the Lady Badgers there.
No kidding.
Number 3 team in the nation, win by 4 points. Or 4 goals, I should say.
And maybe not on as high of a level in the top 3 matchups, but for the Badgers today, they just keep taking these steps towards what they want to be and who they want to be. It's really impressive.
Yeah, Greg Schiano and the Scarlet Knights playing really well up until this point in the season. So huge win out east for the Badgers.
Tyree Walker. Yeah. Unbelievable. We'll talk more about him later.
Tyree, as you said earlier. All right, a quick check of the forecast before we head on out.
Showers and thunderstorms coming to an end, and we're going to become more partly cloudy as the night goes on. We'll settle into those 40s and 50s. Overnight, a few upper 30s further north. Cool start next week. Overnight lows into those low 30s we go.